All right. Hello, everyone. This is Omer with iVision. Hope you are all doing well. Thank you all for being on the call today. Hopefully you received the email and some of you received a text message as well with the information, so I appreciate you being on the call. As always, we've muted everybody for this call. It is being recorded, and we will post the recording in the reseller portal and also send it via email after the fact. If you have any questions, any issues, if there are any technical difficulties with hearing me, please use the chat bubble to communicate, and we'll try to get through this as fast as we can and address everybody's questions as well. All right. So the topics for today's call. First, we have a new office support team member. His name is Rodrigo. He started with us this week, so you may be introduced to him at some point if you call and he picks up. He's not going to be providing any direct support initially, but he will be providing support as he starts learning the system. For now, he is under the helm of Lori, who's taken him under his wing and showing him the ropes and training him. And at some point, he will start to provide support. So if he picks up the phone, say hi, introduce yourself, and you'll be hearing, speaking to him, I think, on an ongoing basis, as we progress with him. Today, we're going to cover some new platform features, enhancements, and fixes. Quick update on the Reseller Sales Conference, as well as the Kiosk Slideshow, and then we're going to do a very basic review of compliance as it relates to your calls to action and Cbd and cannabis messaging. So first off, platform features and enhancements. We have a few new features that we have rolled out that I'd like to review with you today. The first one is on the digital kiosk. Now, we've added the option to not require a complete opt-in for loyalty programs using the filters. If you're using an 18 or 21 age verification or a double opt-in campaign, and you are using any type of loyalty program in the past, there's a situation where if somebody does not complete their double opt-in, they're actually in limbo. They're not in the loyalty program because they're not fully opted into the campaign. So now, when you are creating a kiosk, under layout and functionality, you can disable, or I should say turn off, require opt-in. And that's this section that you see right here. And if you hover over this little question mark, it kind of explains it. Customers must complete the opt-in process to begin collecting reward points. It's defaulted on automatically to yes, because that's how the system is treated incomplete opt-ins up until now. But if you want to have somebody participate in a loyalty program and you don't want them to to require them to complete a double opt-in or an age verification, you can simply switch it to no, hit update, and now that person's loyalty progress will be tracked even though they're not completely opted into the campaign. So that's a new feature that was recently launched. We've tested it thoroughly and it is working nicely. Toggle back here. Secondly, the check-in manager is now optimized to increase processing speeds. If you've noticed in the past where you check somebody in and then you go to the contact details page and it doesn't fully update with the person's new loyalty progress, that has now been significantly sped up, I should say, to show that person's real-time totals. So as soon as you initiate that check-in and you go to the contact details page, you'll see that it does indeed reflect their accurate totals. There's also a button to view the entire day of check-ins. So I think it typically will show, I think, the most recent 10 or 15 check-ins, but there's a button in the top left-hand corner to then view the entire day if you want to see the check-in list for the entire day. All right, a new feature that we've launched, target lists, searching by coupons. This has been a request that's come up a few times now where clients want to be able to search and create target lists based on coupons. So when you are creating a target list, in the drop-down here, when you scroll all the way down to the bottom, past the kiosk stuff, you'll see coupons. And there's a variety of different coupon settings. There's coupon name, coupon issue date, coupon redemption date, coupon expiration date if it's in the future, and then expired coupons, expired dates, an expired coupon expiration date, I should say, coupon issue date for, and the reason it's split up is because the system tracks expired coupons a little bit differently from active coupons. So you have the active coupons and then you have the expired coupons. But the typical use case for this feature is if you want to send somebody a reminder that they have a coupon that is coming up for expiration. So you can create a target list and say, give me all coupons where the expiration date is equal to 10 days ahead. And what this will do is it'll find anybody that has a coupon that's expiring in exactly 10 days. Now, it didn't find any results on this list, but tomorrow it might find people, the following day it might find people. So this is a great target list to create, and then the second half of that would be to set up a trigger message to basically send a message to those people informing them that they have a coupon that's expiring, which will take me to kind of the next feature that was added. But this target list section here, go through it, familiarize yourself with it. It's a lot to kind of grasp at first. And it's really nuanced in terms of issuing dates and redemption dates and expiration dates. So if you have any questions, definitely bring them up to Lori, Juliet, myself, or anybody else that you speak with, and we'll help you navigate this new feature. I will just kind of disclaimer that we've tested a couple scenarios where if you select multiple coupons from the list in the first column and then select multiple coupons in the second column here for OR, it might not generate the accurate list of contacts. So we're still working through that, but I think 99% of you are going to be using it for, letting people know when a coupon is going to be expiring, or searching for people that have a specific coupon that was issued that will be expiring. If you need anything more than that and you're finding that the results are not particularly accurate, perhaps, then let us know. But we are working on some of those kind of final nuances in this feature. But that's a request that's come up over and over again that we're happy to announce is now in the system. We've also added a new merge field, and this goes hand in hand with that target list feature. And basically what it does is if you insert ~mycoupon in a text message, it will display a link that takes you right to your available coupons. So we're kind of, working through, okay, well, we're setting up a reminder to let somebody know that they have a coupon that's expiring, but how do you link directly to that coupon? And if they have other coupons that are expiring, how do we navigate that? So when you set up a trigger message, for example, and that trigger message is checking, every day to see if there's a coupon that's expiring, you simply insert ~mycoupon, and that will take you right to the available coupons page. So you can see all of your active coupons and when they expire. And we figured that this was the best solution for that. Now, there's one other piece to this, the ~mycoupon, and that is which widget do we go to? So if you're using, can anybody hear me? I'm getting a note here that the audio has stopped, but that's just from one person. So I want to make sure that everybody can hear me. Okay. Looks like it's, okay, thank you. When you're in the, which widget do we put on that link? Which widget do we attach to that link? So when you're in a widget and you go into the the My Coupons page here, you will see that there's a designation to set as the linked widget to the ~mycoupon. So this kind of goes hand in hand with the ~mycoupon feature that is now a merge field for your messages. Okay. And again, if you have any questions about this, then anybody on our team can assist you with that. Next, Facebook has some additional settings where we can set a preview image and additional metadata settings for Facebook that when you link to a coupon and you want to share that coupon on Facebook, which image does it preview? And that's a feature that was recently added, and we added it to multiple sections throughout the platform. So first is the widget. You can come in here and you can set your Facebook preview image, and it does provide you with some criteria in terms of the resolution of that image. You can also set a Facebook title and a Facebook description, which will show up in that preview when it gets when a coupon gets shared on Facebook. Now, this same feature is also supported on the mobile websites. So under page setup here, you can do the same thing: preview image, Facebook title, and Facebook description. And then one last piece, which is in the reseller settings. So as a reseller, you have your reseller settings, and if you go into your public website and you go into your page settings and SEO tab, you can set it there as well for your public website. So if you share your public website on Facebook, you can also then display the right image and metadata. All right, Tcpa invite. Several requests have come in to be able to personalize Tcpa invites. That is now available. So if you want to use tilde first name tilde on a Tcpa invite, if you have phone numbers with names, you can allow for personalization on that Tcpa invite feature. And lastly here, campaign filters, double opt-in and age verification. There was a previous issue where if you had a double opt-in or an age verification on a campaign and somebody shared a coupon, it was bypassing the double opt-in. It was bypassing that age verification and not taking the person through that process. So that's been fixed. If you share a coupon with somebody and you have a double opt-in, it will take that person trying to get the offer through the double opt-in or age verification process. A couple other tools here that were added, and then we'll kind of move on. Opt-in management, we've added a 19-plus age filter for Canadian campaigns. And on the opt-in contact section, which I can tab over here to show you how this works. On the opt-in contacts, you have some quick links here to send a blast to your opt-in contacts, opt-out selected contacts, and opt-out deselected contacts. So if you have a large list and you want to opt out a certain group of contacts from within that list, there's some easy shortcuts to do so right from the opt-in contacts tab in the Composer. And lastly here, the random winner selector now has the option to either include or exclude kiosk entries. So we have a lot of people that want to run contests and they want to restrict their contest to only text-ins, or maybe they want to include kiosk entries in the contest, and now you can designate if you would like to include or exclude kiosk entries from your random winner selector. All right. Moving on, the Reseller Sales Conference. Unfortunately, this has been postponed tentatively to Q1 or Q2 of next year. And the reason is basically the SLS Hotel, which is the venue that we had selected, is undergoing heavy construction. It's rebranding to Sahara Las Vegas. And the last thing we want is to show up to a venue that is undergoing major renovations. So at this point, it's on hold till the early part of next year. We are looking at alternative locations, either Los Angeles, somewhere local to our office, or Dallas at our satellite office. And ultimately, we'll make a final decision based on the commitment that we get from the licensees to attend. So we want it to be a favorable attendance. We want a lot of people to show up. We want it to be, very useful and educational for everybody. But at the same time, if 10 people sign up, we'll probably scrap it all together. So look for more communication in the coming weeks on proposed alternative solutions and some type of commitment to see where everybody stands. The Kiosk Slideshow. So we are still on schedule with our anticipated launch timeline of the end of summer or the early fall. So we're still right on track. We're working on it extensively and all the time. And just the pending items to be completed, just so you understand where we're at. An enhanced text editor on the slides. We want to build a text editor that supports multiple rows of text, supports the ability to customize the text within those rows. So making some text bold, making some text underline, alignment, left align, right align, vertical alignment, things like that. But then build it in such a way where it's not HTML so that it can be supported on the offline app as well. So it's very important for these new features to be supported across both the online and offline apps. So that's a pretty big project, unfortunately, because of the complexity involved in that. Another piece is to display the kiosk text full screen if you're using the slideshow. If you're doing a split screen, what we don't want is we don't want to kind of smash everything into the text side. We want to be able to bring the text full screen, so that's another enhancement. And then we're also working on a graphic and video file library that's going to be made available throughout the platform. So it's going to be this this kind of all-in-one graphic and video library that you'll be able to access not only via the kiosk, but also on the websites, on the widgets, and all the other elements throughout the platform where you can manage graphics. All right, let's talk about compliance review, the ABCs of compliance. I feel like we have to keep reviewing this on an ongoing basis because every time I happen to come across a campaign, I'm finding pieces that are missing or pieces that are not right. And so it's really, really important. We have a great turnout on today's call. 64 licensees are on the call, which is fantastic. It's really, really important that everybody is fully aware and knowledgeable on the compliance requirements, because not only is it up to you to get it right, but it's up to your clients to get it right as well, and you are the expert. So your clients are going to be leaning on you to educate and teach them and instruct them what they have to do and what they have to say. We don't want to jeopardize your business. We don't want to jeopardize your client's business. And believe me, you just want to play it extra safe. So first and foremost is making sure your calls to action are compliant. And by compliant, it needs to include both the carrier language and the Tcpa language if it's ongoing and marketing. So the carrier language, pretty straightforward. There's 4 pieces. There's the campaign name, there's the frequency of the messages, there's the help and stop language, and then there's message and data rates may apply. Okay? The Tcpa language only applies to campaigns that are ongoing and marketing related. If you are not doing an ongoing campaign, or if it's not marketing related, then the Tcpa language does not apply, and you only need the carrier language. If you have a client that is sending non-marketing communication, like appointment reminders, things like that, maybe it's a dermatologist or a skincare facility, but then they kind of veer into sending out special offers for Botox treatment, facials, things of that nature. There's a fine line there that you really have to understand in terms of the switch from non-marketing to marketing. And so that requires really educating the customer. But the Tcpa language, basically, you want to state that messages are ongoing or automated. I think if you use one of these terms, you're going to cover your basis. And then the other piece here is that consent is not required for purchase. So basically what that means is you don't have to join the club in order to buy something. If you go to pick up a pizza, they're not going to tell you, hey, you have to join the mobile club in order to purchase this pizza. So those are the 2 elements for the Tcpa language. Learn this. Learn it. I cannot stress it more. You need to be able to rattle these things off. Okay, with your eyes closed, without even thinking about it. You need to be able to look at a call to action and determine if that call to action language has all the pieces, or is there something missing? And if there's something missing, then you have to obviously inform your client. Let me address a couple questions that came in with regards to this. Is a survey request post-purchase considered marketing? That's a great question. I'm not sure how to answer that. Survey request can be borderline marketing, so you have to just be very careful in your language, I guess, in terms of how you word it, how you word the request, and we can work with you on that. Does all of this TCPA language need to be included in every double opt-in sent? If you're doing a double opt-in and you are not including this language on your initial call to action, then it needs to be in your double opt-in language. Okay? One or the other. It's either on your call to action, and then you can do a single opt-in, or if it's not on your call to action in the event of a radio promotion or just, text win to 55678 without any other language, then you have to build it all into your double opt-in language. And is the carrier language required only on the double opt-in or every text? It's really only required on the initial opt-in message, the bounce back message. We typically will insert a footer, reply, stop to cancel, messages, data rates may apply on every subsequent message. So that kind of covers you there. But the campaign name, the frequency, really needs to be on just the initial bounce back. Is it located on the disclaimer under the keypad on the kiosk? Yes, this language is located on the disclaimer under the keypad on the kiosk. You want to be really careful, as I mentioned on the previous compliance review, that your background color cannot conflict with your font color. So if your background color is black and your font color is black, guess what? Nobody sees the disclaimer. So really pay attention to the visibility of that disclaimer font, the disclaimer language, to make sure it's clear, it's not too small, it can't be hidden in the background. You want to be really careful about those things. Political campaigns. We've been approached by several prospects about running political campaigns. Oftentimes, political candidates can access lists of voters, voter registration lists that oftentimes have phone numbers. Do they have permission to text those people? Absolutely not. They need to get permission. They cannot import lists of voter subscribers and send out messages. We had a client do that. They sent 100,000 messages in Arizona, and I got 3 calls from other licensees saying, hey, how did these people get messages? It's frowned upon. We really don't condone that type of behavior, so we want to make sure that everybody's operating on the up and up. Aggregating lists of voter registrations does not gel in terms of compliance. So we can have a more thorough discussion as it relates to political campaigns. Can you get rid of the footer message for non-marketing messages? We have some flexibility to removing the footer, so talk with Juliet, talk with Lori, and get some guidance from them, and they can show you how to go about removing that footer. What about T&Cs and privacy policy link? Typically, the T's and C's and privacy policy link will be on the actual call to action. So whatever promotional piece, marketing piece you're using, if it's a print ad or a table tent or something like that, you would have a link to a privacy policy or terms and conditions link. It doesn't have to be in the text message. And then lastly here, my question is, does that satisfy the requirement since the interaction with the kiosk is what generates the double opt-in? So interacting with the kiosk is just a single opt-in. You type in your phone number and you hit go, and that's a single opt-in. If you make it a double opt-in, then I would put the language in the double opt-in message and kind of disregard what's on the kiosk. It's better that it's in the text message versus the kiosk screen. So I hope that addresses your question. All right, moving on. CBD and Cannabis Messaging. I'm going to reiterate this and reiterate it over and over and over again. This is absolutely 100% prohibited on short codes. If we find a campaign that is doing CBD messaging or cannabis messaging on a short code, we will suspend the campaign. We will turn it off, and we will reach out to you, and we will tell you that what you are doing is in violation of federal guidelines and carrier guidelines. CBD and cannabis messaging cannot, under any circumstances, operate on our shared short codes. And we will not tolerate it, and we have a zero tolerance approach on it. Okay? you must use long codes or toll-free numbers. And I should also say that we do audit our system. We will look for campaign names. We'll look for messaging content that speaks about CBD or cannabis, and we will flag those accounts. Okay, and we do this on a regular, ongoing basis. I came across a campaign 2 days ago that was on a shared shortcode, our shared shortcode, as I was going through a training, a webinar, and they were doing CBD messaging. And so that was like, whoa. So I want to reiterate, you cannot do any type of CBD or cannabis messaging on a shared shortcode. It's not allowed. We will not allow it. It will jeopardize our business. It jeopardizes your business, and the last thing we want to do is go out of business because of a CBD-related content. Vape shops are different. Vape shops just require age verification. Keep in mind, vaping is not federally illegal, okay? Cannabis is federally illegal. CBD is illegal in certain capacities. So anything that's federally illegal cannot operate on a shortcode. Vaping is not illegal, alcohol is not illegal, and firearms are not illegal. So as long as you abide by the proper age verification for those types of campaigns, that can operate on a shared shortcode, but you must use the proper age verification. So what do you do if you want to do CBD and cannabis messaging? You have to use long codes or toll-free numbers. Now, those of you that are using long codes, you know that they are typically used for very low volume, one-off messages back and forth. If the carrier sees a spike in volume on long code messaging, they will red flag that long code and they will probably block it. And what does that mean for you? Well, that means that your messages are not going to go through. So my recommendation is get a toll-free number. A toll-free number is treated a little bit differently. It's perceived as a business line by the carriers. And because it's perceived as a business line by the carriers, it does have more throughput and volume capabilities. Not quite what a shortcode can do, but we have clients that use toll-free numbers all the time, and they send 15,000, 20,000 messages a month, and they really don't have many issues with delivery. The delivery statuses on long codes and toll-free numbers are not as detailed as they are on a short code. So you will basically see delivered to carrier, or failed. If it's failed, it doesn't really identify why it's failed. It doesn't say if it's permanent, if it's temporary. It doesn't give us much additional detail there. So just know that there are some differences in how those two technologies work. But if you're going to do any type of CBD or cannabis messaging, my recommendation is a toll-free number. It's $25 set up, and then $2.50 a month. You really can't beat it. And it can be set up in 1 to 2 days. Sometimes even within an hour or a couple hours, we can have it in your account. So all you have to do is make a request. We will get it set up for you in a jiffy, and then we'll add it to your account. All right, let's go through some of these questions here. On the create a blast section. Okay, so a note here about putting CBD, just a notice in the platform that CBD can't be sent on short codes on the website send a blast section. I guess we can add an alert there on the send a blast page, but really it's more about educating you guys. You guys are the licensees. You guys are working with your clients directly. You guys need to understand what the rules and the regulations are, and you guys need to be able to train your clients on what they can and cannot do. There should be no instance where somebody signs up for a user account and then operates unchecked on the platform. We don't let our clients do that. We monitor what they do. We train them. We educate them, and we expect you all to do the same. Throughput on toll-free numbers. We don't know exactly what the throughput on toll-free numbers are. We know that long codes are about 1 message per second. Toll-free numbers are in, I think, the 3 to 10 messages a second. Our system sends them as fast as we can. So we send them to our upstream provider as fast as we can, and then the throttling happens upstream from us. Okay, I think that pretty much covers it there. And that's all I had, to be honest with you. So we covered, a lot of features and enhancements that have been added to the platform. We want to make sure that you're aware of these changes as they're happening. It's tough to notify you each and every time we make a change, but we try to do these calls every 2 or 3 months to kind of, talk about the collective changes that have been made or enhancements that have been made. Obviously, we'll keep you posted here as we make additional progress with the Kiosk Slideshow. We're really excited with how it's coming along. I think everybody's going to love it once we do get it launched. And then as far as cannabis in Canada, I have not seen anything to indicate that cannabis messaging in Canada is allowed, so I will have to inquire about that and get back to you. But for now, let's assume and operate that cannabis and CBD is not allowed on a short code period, whether it's in Canada or the U.S. As far as updates on AT&T and short codes and long code legitimizing long codes, they have not given us any update. We talked about this briefly on our last call in April. I think they are really operating very carefully and very slowly to prevent any type of PR backlash like Verizon experienced. So at this point, there has been no additional progress made or any information provided. If and when they do announce anything, you can listen to Derek from Tatango talking about it, but we will also let you know once we hear something. We'll be sure to let you know first. So I appreciate everybody's time today. We'll post this in the reseller portal. We'll also send it out via email. If anybody has additional questions, thoughts, concerns, feel free to reach out to us directly. And we thank you again for your time.